is Steve Sog with Gravity. We're here today out in an undisclosed location on the 4th of May, and yeah, we're out here getting ready to deploy our ROV, and it's our second day on the water. Yesterday we were doing a side scan survey, looking for any anomalies and anything that piqued our interest.
Basically, there's a transducer on here and here, and what it's doing, instead of like on a boat where the sides where you just have a sonar going straight down giving you a bottom image, this is going out at two angles. I'm not quite sure, I'm trying to remember the 120-degree angle on this, so we're getting about a 200-foot view of the bottom with the sonar going out at an angle on the side. That's why they call it side scan. And
we found about 24 different points of interest on the leading edge of the area we've kind of been thinking that it's going to be. But if you get it in a line like that sometimes, it's not what you're looking for. You want to find like an anomaly, like a pinpoint that doesn't continue. What I'm doing, I'm just going to drive us right directly over those high points. And right now, today, we are on the water. We've got our ROV on the stern, ready to deploy, and we are just waiting for a calmer tide so that we can actually deploy to depth and do a video inspection. We'll have a HD camera that's built into the ROV that we'll have displayed on the multitude of video screens on board here, and we'll be transmitting a signal up to the springtime so that everyone up on that vessel will be able to witness and see what we see as well. So if anyone sees possible anchors, then we'll all get crazy excited. But today is a day of just seeing what we can find, and we're just hoping for a long enough window where we can be at the bottom to find it.
Here's actually a good example of seeing a tide rip. This is where the tide is flooding right here, and you can see in the distance there's a slight breeze coming this way against the tide, and it causes the rip right in that area where it's a little bit confined there as the tide goes around the corner here. But that's a perfect example of a tide rip, and of course that's how fast the current was running, about 5 knots when the Chatham lost its anchor.
68 guys paddling a 300-ton boat. It's amazing. And how many outboards do they have on that?
So do you think it's the current that broke the anchor? Yeah.
The current and the rocks. I mean, if you look at the side scan, it's the rocks. I mean, there's all the rocks on the bottom.
Steve, was there an association between the original magnetic hits that were on a pattern, and then with respect to how you did the side scan to maybe try to line up the two?
The two points of interest that we have are directly correlated to the mag survey. We have one that are in front of the two kind of protrusions underwater, and then we have another one in kind of the notch. And those are the two areas that have the strongest mag hits. And those are the two areas that we side scanned most thoroughly, because those are the ones that, with the currents that we felt yesterday and the water that was pushing through, really felt like that was where, if you were a vessel, or that's where you're going to get pushed, and that's where. So that's where we spent most of our time with the side scan, and that's the two locations that we have picked out. One is a little south on those two protrusions, and then one is a little north on that one little knot. Well, today we're just using the 100 feet of chain and the great anchor that the Springtime has. And we've got a bunch of support crew on board, so we're able to utilize their vessel as a nice tie-off point and a way to keep our video transfer accurate and clear. But also it's just real easy for them to deploy an anchor, and then we can all not worry about interfering with each other, but we can actually help each other.
Yeah, and Captain Mayo, you got us located here, and we're hooked up with the vessel thing, and what about the ferries and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, and our particular location, we've just checked in, of course, with VTS to make sure that we're clear of any commercial traffic and everything, and we're on site just where they will notify us of any approaching traffic or anything like that. So we're in the clear and steady. They know what we're doing, and that's it. And I'm delighted that, especially backing up what Steve said, it was nice to see the correlation between the magnetometer hits. That was really important, and what they saw visually, and were able to have those line up very closely with the side scan. So yeah, we're excited.
And again, this really is turning out to be a tremendous team effort here. We've got such a great team to start with, and the ability to use the Springtime as a mothership, and we've got a full complement of our museum team on board there to assist in the operation, and mostly to observe. But the fact that we're able to coordinate all this between the two vessels and with everything we're doing, it's quite rewarding to see a team working so seamlessly.
When the Chatham began drifting here and the tide has changed, the same as it has done today, and was carrying the vessel over this direction to the east of where they wanted to be, they launched one of their boats and began towing with it. And the launch for the Chatham was about a 20-foot launch, is what it's called. And that would have been like having about 6 to 8 guys rowing. And they tried towing the 65-foot, well, a vessel the size of the Lady Washington, with just one basically rowed vessel with about 6 guys in it. So they could move it a little bit, but against any kind of tide like this, it was just impossible. And that of course brought about the whole point of them realizing they couldn't make it to the west of here, and had to drop their stream anchor first. And then when that didn't work, they actually dropped their bower, which is a larger anchor, and fetched up on that and got safely anchored to wait out the tide.
And on board the Springtime today, as opposed to yesterday, we've also got Faith Haney, who's our cultural resources manager, which is / marine archaeologist, and we've got her husband Simon, who works at Tel Northwest Labs, an experienced mariner himself. We've got Maurice Major, who is the representative from DNR, Department of Natural Resources, and their Aquatic Lands Division, which is the organization that owns everything on the sea bottom, on freshwater, saltwater, and even on land in Washington State with respect to artifacts and things of that sort. So we've got the oversight of the premier agency, and we've got also a kind of remote oversight from the Department of Archaeology and Historic Preservation, with whom we've been in very close contact. Our object here is to set this whole search for Vancouver's lost anchor as a sort of model for anybody or any organization who goes out to look for a particular artifact, particularly marine, that if they follow the pattern that we're setting up, the template that we're making on this operation, every base should be covered, and more than covered, and everything will be done properly and legally. And so that's another, just a side benefit of what we're doing on this expedition. Now, is we're hopefully just being a prototype on this.